Talking about parallel and perpendicular lines. This up here is just, you can read it, it's about parallel lines, what they are. They're always the same distance apart, they do not intersect. Key part right here is they have equal slopes. Okay, equal slopes, so that's one thing you want to remember. So when you're doing the examples, find the slope of the line that is parallel to the given line. You first need to find the slope of the line given, and then the parallel slope will be equal to that. So here, number one, it's very simple. You're in y equals mx plus b form already. M is the slope, so your slope equals 2. So therefore, the parallel slope also equals 2. Number two, you are not in slope-intercept form yet. So the first thing you need to do is solve for y so that you can find out the slope. 6y equals 4 minus 3x. Divide by 6. Y equals 2/3 minus 1/2 x. So my slope is negative 1/2. So my parallel slope is also negative 1/2. Finally, number 3, to get it in slope-intercept form, add the 2x, get y equals 2x plus 5. My slope here is 2, so my parallel slope is also 2. Okay, parallel lines have equal slopes. Next, perpendicular lines. Their slopes are opposite reciprocals. Okay, a couple things about parallel lines. They form right angles. Vertical and horizontal lines are perpendicular. And then their slopes are opposite reciprocals. Now, in case you have forgotten what that means, if you have something like 1/3, the opposite reciprocal, you flip it, so it would be 3/1, or just 3, and make it negative. If you have something like 4, when you flip that, think about it, that would be 4/1, so when you flip it, it'd be 1/4. 4, it becomes negative 1/4. Okay, if you have a fraction like 2/3, when you flip it, it becomes 3/2. Opposite means make it negative. Alright, one more. If you have a negative 5, remember that's negative 5/1, so it becomes a positive 1/5. That's what opposite reciprocals are. So when we find the slope of a line that's perpendicular, we find the slope of the given line, and then we take the opposite reciprocal to get the perpendicular slope. So this first one, already in the form, y equals mx plus b, our slope is 2. So our perpendicular slope, remember that's 2/1, so it's 1/2, positive becomes negative. The second one, you have to solve for y again, minus the 3x. In case you didn't realize, these are the same questions as the ones on the front page. Divide by 6, so that'll be y equals 2/3 minus 1/2 x. So the slope of this line is negative 1/2. So slope is negative 1/2. The perpendicular slope is, flip that, it's 2, and it's a positive 2. And number 3, again, we add the 2x. So y equals 2x plus 5. Our slope is 2, so that means the perpendicular slope would be 2/1, so you flip it, 1/2, opposite means it's negative. Okay? Next one, couple U tries. Okay, so go ahead and try those. Sorry, there are 4 here. I don't know if yours looks like that, but that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So make sure you try all of those. Okay? Next, we are going on to, maybe, it is writing equations for a line that passes through a given point and is parallel to another line. So the steps you want to take, find slope of given line, and because they're parallel slope, you know your slope is going to be equal to that. So then you take your point given and slope and write equation. Okay, so number 1, we have the line y equals x minus 8. What is the slope of that line? Yeah, it's a 1. So slope equals 1. And it passes through the point 5, 1. So now we need to write an equation. Now, this says slope-intercept form. All right, so you can do that, or we could write it in point-slope form first, which was what I'm going to do for the first one. Maybe for the other one I'll write it differently, but this is your m, there's your x, 1, and y1. So I'm using this form. So I have y minus 1 equals m, which is 1, times x minus 5. If I distribute the 1, it's just x minus 5. And then add the 1, I get y equals x minus 4. So that's the equation in slope-intercept form. That's why I had to solve for y, for the equation of the line that passes through the given point and is parallel to the graph. So basically, you want to write a parallel, like you can draw your line. It's like this. You want to find the equation of that line. Okay. So number 2, we know our point. We want to go through the point 3, 3, and our slope. You can count it from the graph if you want, or you could solve the equation. 4x minus 3y equals 12. Solve that for y, so minus 4x. Negative 3y equals 12 minus 4x, and then divide by negative 3. We get y equals negative 4 plus 4/3 x. So 4/3 is our slope. So the parallel slope is the same. So our slope equals 4/3. So there's x1, y1, and m. If I write it in this form, I have y minus y1, which is 3, equals m, which is 4/3, times x minus x1, which is negative 3. So x minus a negative 3 becomes x plus 3. From there, I am going to distribute. I have 4/3 x plus 4/3 times 3 is 12 over 3, which is 4, equals y minus 3, and then we add the 3. So y equals 4/3 x plus 7. Okay, and it's the same, like that's the line that you're looking for. Okay, that equation, y equals 4/3 x plus 7. Alright, so go ahead and try one like that. Okay, you want parallel to this line through the point negative 8, 7. Find the equation. Alright, slide 6, we are writing the equation for a line that passes through the given point and is perpendicular to another line. So here, you want to find slope of line given, and then you want to find the perpendicular slope, which remember is the opposite reciprocal, and then you want to write the equation with perpendicular slope and given point. Okay, so for this one right here, the slope of our line is negative 1/2. So the perpendicular slope, I flip that, it becomes 2, it was negative, becomes positive. So my perpendicular slope is 2, through the point negative 8, 7. So there's them, m, x, and y. I'll do this one the other way, just because I know some of you probably do it that way. If you take y equals mx plus b, 7 equals m, which is 2, times x, which is negative 8, plus b. 2 times negative 8 is negative 16, and add the 16. So b equals 23. So our equation, slope of 2, y-intercept of 23, is y equals 2x plus 23. Okay, and perpendicular looks something like that. So yeah, that is going to hit way up there at 23. Right? So there it is. with this one, this time if you're given the graph, I am going to go from here and say, okay, that slope is up 4 over 3. So my slope given is 4/3. So my perpendicular slope is negative 3 over 4, the opposite reciprocal. And I am going through, just erase that so I can see the point, big eraser, through the point negative 3, 3. So here's my x1, y1, and m. I'm plugging into this equation, point slope. I did slope intercept here because I know some of you do, but I'll do the point slope here. So we have y minus 3 equals m, which is negative 3/4, times x minus a negative 3, which becomes x plus 3. Now, because the 4 doesn't go into here, what I'm going to do is multiply both sides by 4. So it becomes 4y minus 12 equals, 4's cancel, negative 3x minus 9. Add the 12, so I get 4y equals negative 3x plus 3, and then I have to divide by 4. So y equals negative 3/4 x plus 3/4. Now again, I write it in slope-intercept form because that's what it said. If it just said write the equation for the line, this form would have been perfectly fine. Okay, so make sure you read the directions and find out which form you have to put it in. All right, and remembering slope-intercept is y equals mx plus b. Okay, so I believe that's it. The next page is a you try, so go ahead and try that. Perpendicular to this line, through that point. Go ahead and try it out, and we'll go over it during the next class. Thanks for listening. Have a good night.